Good morning, and welcome to the Bulldog Broadcast. I'm Arabella.
And I'm Emilio. Today is Friday, November 8th.
Did you know that Veterans Day is Monday, November 11th? It is a day to honor all military veterans who have served in the U.S. Armed Forces.
Yes, I did. We are having an assembly today in the cafeteria at 9 a.m. to celebrate our veterans.
Wow, sounds like fun. Thank you, veterans, for serving our country. All this talking is making me hungry.
Here is what's for lunch. Beef taco salad, refried beans, and tropical fruit.
That sounds delicious. With that, how about we go over to our sports broadcaster, Wyatt?
Hello, Bulldogs. Right here with some updated sports news. The high school football team lost to Central last Friday, 32-28. Tonight is their last district game. Come out and support your Bulldogs against Waurika. The 5th and 6th grade basketball teams are on a winning streak. Both the boys and girls have won all their games this week. That wraps up your week in sports. Now over to Caden for the weather update.
Good morning, I'm Caden and this is your weather forecast. Today's high is 53 degrees. It will be a nice weekend with highs in the 60s, but next week we'll see temperatures drop into the 40s. The lows will be below freezing. Enjoy your weekend. Now back to our broadcast booth.
Thank you, Caden, for that weather update.
In today's episode of the Bulldog Broadcast, we have a special report from Jaylee.
Good morning, I'm here with retired Master Sergeant John Leroy. We asked our elementary students what they wanted to know about being a veteran. He is here to answer some of those questions. Mr. Leroy, Miss Elam's first grade class wants to know what it means to be a veteran.
Well, a veteran is anybody that has served in the armed forces, and not just the United States, but the UK and several other countries also recognize the term veteran as anybody that has served in the armed forces.
Our next question comes from Alex and Balin in Miss Smith's class. What made you want to join the military, and what branch were you in?
Well, my grandfather and my father both served in the military, and so I always knew when I was young that I really wanted to join the military. And I ended up joining the Marine Corps mostly because it was the toughest branch that I found, and I wanted the challenge of joining that tough branch.
Bladen, Billy, Raymond, and Wyatt ask, where did you do your training and what countries have you deployed to?
Well, I did my recruit training in Parris Island, South Carolina, which is one of the 2 Marine Corps training depots that they have, the other one being in California. And in my 20 years, I've been to many, many different countries. Been to Japan, and I've been to Afghanistan. I've deployed combat tours to Afghanistan and Iraq. I did several tours in Japan, and I went to the Philippines and Thailand. I got to see several different small countries over in what used to be the USSR. I've been all over several states in the United States for training.
Ricky, Carson, and Elijah F. want to know about your uniform and what you wore for protection.
Well, the Marine Corps had a lot of different uniforms, just as most military branches do. Each branch has their own distinct uniforms that they wear. We had uniforms that we wore for dress, which most of you have probably seen in the commercials, our dress blues. That's what we're mostly known for. Our day-to-day wear, we mostly wore our camouflage utilities, either tan or the woodland pattern, which is the green and brown pattern. When I was overseas, our protection, we wore Kevlar vests with plates in them that protected us. We also wore ballistic helmets. We wore our boots that helped protect our feet. And our camouflage uniforms were fire retardant, which kept us protected from fires and explosions.
The most asked questions were, what did you eat and where did you sleep?
Well, mostly we had chow halls when you were back in garrison at the camp, and you could eat there. And they had normal, regular food that most people eat. When we were out in the field and deployed, we ate what are called meals ready to eat, or MREs, that are packaged food in a bag. We had many different flavors, and a lot of them were good, and some of them weren't all that good. When I was in a lot of the different countries, I always tried to eat some of the local cuisines that they served there, and so we would go out and eat, some of the favorites that people had from those countries. Now, where did I sleep? Pretty much anywhere I could find a spot. We slept a lot on the ground, in a sleeping bag or without a sleeping bag, just covered up. I've slept in my gear. I've slept in a hole in the ground. I've slept laying on the deck of a ship, in the back of a vehicle, on top of vehicles. Pretty much anywhere you could find a spot that protected you from the weather or whatever environment you were in. Once you're in the military for a long time, you get to where you can pretty much sleep anywhere.
Thank you, Mr. Leroy, for answering our questions, and thank you for your service to our country.